With regards to the Savvy Inspector, what do you think, if you're just describing the Savvy Inspector really quickly, because there's a number of coaches and companies out there that provide, advice to inspectors that want to grow their business. What do you think the real brand of the Savvy Inspector is, and what's the distinguishing factor for the TSI group?
I think the big difference is this: a lot of people will tell you, but here's what we do. We tell you what you need to do. We tell you why you need to do it. We give you the tools to do it, and we'll do it for you if you want to. Nobody has the done for you services action. You can get a website from anybody, but they don't know how to get a home inspection in the door. Some of the other people that call themselves coaches, they don't provide services. If you go into our members website or members portal, you'll see all kinds of strategies on how to do it. How about a checklist to help you do it? What we want to do too is, if you're a multi-inspector firm, train your staff. Why should you do it? We should say, hey, I want to do prior client marketing with the clients. Send your staff into the Savvy Inspector if you're a member, and guess what? They learn it. They put it together from our material, and then they go back to the business owner and say, hey, here's what the Savvy said we should do. Here's how I want to implement the firm, yes or no. Okay, so we just don't talk to you about what you should do. We do tell you what you should do, and we tell you why you should do it, because if you just said you need to do this, and I couldn't understand why, I would rebel against that. But then we've taken it a step further. And I'll tell you, Jack, we did in the beginning. I just wanted to coach. I sold a $40 million company at a huge ROI and was finished. And I got into the home inspection business by accident. I'm not a home inspector, I'm a marketer. And built the Southern Home Inspection Services, my company in Atlanta, to $13.5 million in sales, and sold it. So what happened was I teach the system I used to do it. But it wasn't enough. And the members said, hey, I want more. Can you build me a website? Can you help me with videos? Can you help me with this? Keyword research. Can you help me with this? And I'm like, oh, I don't really want to. But I said, okay, I'll do it. And so we've just built the Savvy up to where, yes, we do coach, but more and more of our clients are taking advantage of the services that we do for them, so they can focus on things that we can't help them with, like calling on real estate agents or making presentations or doing the other things like that.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, it's needed in every corner of the country. And as you said, even beyond the borders, it's just an interesting industry, right? You've got inspectors and inspection businesses where, the very largest entities out there, we're still talking single digit percentages of the market in terms of market share.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cottage industry, highly fractured, and there's lots of people in lots of corners of all the great cities and towns in the U.S. and beyond that, certainly don't need to reinvent the wheel, and can keep doing what they're doing really well, and obviously lean on the things that you've done.
I will tell you, Jack, that if we have an avatar, just like you have an avatar, if we could paint the perfect a client, it's a one-man shop that has a burning desire to succeed and a willingness to think outside the box, things that are changing. And, if you're going to think the same old way we did, get out of the home inspection school, get you some brochures printed, go over to the real estate office, and they'll use you. Build it, and they will come. That ain't working. It hadn't worked in a long time. Yeah. Okay, but the home inspectors still get that promise to them. You don't need much money. Get a ladder, get a couple of tools, some business cards, and there you'll have it. But, average home inspector does 64 home inspections in their first year. And if you do that by math, even if it was $400, that's not very much money, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not. And then second year, they're just as disillusioned because what happens is they haven't hooked up with somebody like the Savvy who can give you a blueprint, a step-by-step a piece. I'll tell you what we've done. We've actually even changed the Savvy a little bit more. And just 2 seconds on this. If you are a one-man shop and you've been in the business just a few months, do you really need to see the recruiting, hiring, and training material from the Savvy Inspector? You don't. Yeah. So what happens is, why overwhelm you with that? So we've set up tracks and we set up the software. Now you tell us before you join the membership site, you sign up, and then before we let you inside the membership site, we ask you 2 or 3 questions. And based on what you tell us, and it's online, based on what you tell us, you get in a certain track. So if you're not in the business yet, but you want to build a strong foundation before you get in, you're in that track. If you're brand new to the business, less than 24 months and not where you want to be, you get in a different track. If you're a one-man shop and you want to remain a one-man shop, you get in a different track. If you're a one-man shop and you want to be a multi-inspector firm, you get in a 4th track. So, they're only seeing the information that's germane to their success destiny. Okay, once they get through that track, then they have access to everything else. I don't want them to look at advanced strategies until they have the fundamentals mastered. So we continue to try to hone what they get so that they can achieve their dreams even faster.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I can see why this virtual workshop is going to offer the ultimate flexibility around that to deliver that for those different personas you just described for the inspectors.